Hey, Emily,
Yeah, Fred?
it's February.
So?
Isn't it ceramic time?
Great tater tots. I gotta get on that. Well, here we are. Another year. Time to do ceramic. So I've been going to RPM now for quite a while. Restore, protect, maintain. They've really done a great job for us. So I thought we could do a little math experiment here. I don't know if it's an experiment, but to try and explain my value system on why I do this. And the first reason is the Airstream lives outside for its entire life. And, you know, we just had some service done, and Rob was out telling us stories about different kinds of things he's done to Airstreams. And he mentioned that, you know, just one panel on the Airstream, a single panel, either the left or the right hand side, could be as much as $10,000 if it has to be replaced. And so the math experiment part here is, I took a quick look before we filmed this today, and my Airstream these days with inflation seems to be running roughly, this model is about $150,000 new, about. So for a small fraction of that, a teeny tiny fraction of the entire cost of my Airstream, I can bring this into RPM. They can apply ceramic, and it, you know, rejects water, rejects oil. It has a different static charge, so it doesn't attract dust. So for that tiny little bit of money, I can avoid paying thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars when there's things that happen to the Airstream. So for example, when I say things, early on when I got the Airstream and I didn't know about ceramic coating, I got a little puddle of like sap on one of the rear cap of the Airstream, and we showed this a few seasons ago, and I didn't think anything of it. I just thought, oh, it's sap, not realizing that sap can eat through automotive clear coat, which is over the you know, like aluminum on the Airstream. And it did. It ate right through the clear coat, right down to the aluminum. And over time, that clear coat was beginning to peel back. It was beginning to flake. So as the measure, we put PPF over it to at least keep it from going further. But it's there, and it'll need replacing eventually for thousands of dollars. If I had just had the ceramic coating for a tiny fraction the cost of my Airstream, I could have gotten right up there. Now, I'm not going to argue that it would have just wiped right off, but it would have been much easier to remove had I had the ceramic coating than not. That's why I do this. I do this because it protects my Airstream and saves me, ultimately, in the long haul, it saves me quite a bit more money. Okay,
Hello.
my friends, we're back. Matt, owner operator, RPM, restore, protect, maintain. Another year, another ceramic coat. So I thought maybe
Time to get to work.
Time to get to work. That's right. So Miriam's she's already on it. So our viewers have already watched one video with we had this rear panel replaced, and a lot of damage was done to that hatch. Like we had that thing, it was like welded over, you know, at AZ Metals, and it was probably on a bench, and they're welding it. So she's really giving it the treatment there. So, but yeah, so we already talked about that. So looks like she's gonna really give the treatment for that rear hatch. And then I warned her that that panel there that has the license plate was replaced because it had holes where there was an old bike mount. And I was just warning her there might be some aluminum dust on there when you clean it. So I wasn't sure if that would act like an abrasive. So.
Well, she cleans it up first and then takes and, you know, goes about polishing, and then with the, you know, final prep and cleanup and
Get all those contaminants off.
Yep.
Right on. So nothing special here. So we can pretty much, I thought I would tell you though that we had like, I think it was a 20-year record up in Silverton, Colorado of rain and hail. And this trailer got beat. And it's just another one of those times when I was so happy to have the ceramic coating on this trailer when, you know, because it acts like sandpaper almost. It's just pummeling the trailer, it's beating the crap out of it. So.
Oh, for sure.
But so I don't know if y'all will be able to do anything about this, but Fred and I were replacing the batteries in this battery box.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, you know, the propane tanks were taken off. This hatch was open. We were lifting a battery out and it went clunk and gave it a nice, you know. So I was wondering if there might be a chance for some TLC, but I guess we'll see.
We can give it some magic.
Right on. All right.
I would say with things like that, when you have a scratch that you can feel in clear coat, a lot of times we can improve it to where it's less noticeable without going through the clear coat, but yet, you know, so it's an improvement, not making it disappear.
Yeah, you know, I try to be reasonable about that stuff too. It'll never look new, right? But if it could be made more appealing, right? I'm down for that, absolutely.
Something that's not just reaching out and smacking you when you walk by, like, oh yeah.
Well, you know how, you know our OCD, we've shared this together, right? Like you come out and you're like,
oh yeah.
Oh, so all right. Well, I'm thinking of doing some inside stuff this year. I was wondering if you might be interested in seeing what we got going on in there.
Let's take a look.
All right. I do believe this is the first time you've been in here.
It is.
I think.
It is.
Not a half bad trailer.
I like it. It's nice.
So I was curious what your thoughts would be. This is the bedroom area, and you can see it's very tight when you stand between this wall and the bed.
Yeah.
And you can see just living, right? Those aren't just smudges. Those are, I don't know what those rub marks are from. I was thinking of PPFing that panel and PPFing the panel over here.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on, you know, like, again, we're being reasonable here that, you know, it may never look new, but, you know, like you got belts on, you got rivets on your jeans, and you're, you know.
It's totally doable.
Okay.
Like, absolutely. We'll make that look
Nice
I
and
mean,
shiny. I was hoping for the shiny kind of PPF, you know.
Oh,
like
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think it'll even improve some of these other spots because with the top coats of the PPF is like a clear coat on paint. So
yes.
It is.
It looks really good when you put it on.
Yeah, you can put it over a something that was a satin or matte finish or just a base coat of a paint and will actually make it glossy.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
You can put it over a matte and then it becomes glossy. That's pretty sick.
It's
cool.
just like adding clear coat. So yeah, I think that will not only protect it, but probably improve those couple of those little spots.
So back to this point, I talk about this in all the videos when we get together. RPM stands for, I'm going to get that shot there, restore, protect, and maintain. So that's what Miriam's doing outside right now. That's what the buzzing is. She's doing some resto, right?
Yes.
And so it sounds like you're going to do a little bit of resto down here, address some of the beating that this has taken. So that's step number one, is a little bit of restore.
Correct.
Then now we've talked a lot about the protect part, but the PPF and the ceramic, those are kinds of protection, right? Like you're,
yes.
Okay, you're applying, you know, something that protects your vehicle. And then maintain, I mean, that's what we're doing right now, right? I come back and I visit you.
Yes.
Now, we've talked about this a lot, but I just wanted to clarify to our viewers. The question about how often ceramic coat is applied, I think you've explained to me, and tell me if I get this right. It depends. If
Very much does.
if your trailer lives in a garage and never comes out, then sure, maybe one time in its lifetime. But if you're like us and we're getting, you know, hail, snow, rain, we've even talked about that I might be one of those clients that might be at a twice a year rate, right? Like,
Oh yeah.
so it just depends.
Well, and then storage is a big thing too. So for someone else that might not be using it as often, but it's being stored outside, here in Arizona, like we have, it's pretty harsh climate. Even if, without the snow and rain, it's just being
The
cooked on.
UV beats on it, and now,
And
yeah, and the panels change shape, right? So that's, you know, got it. Yeah, in my trailer, I've kind of emphasized this in my videos. It lives outside its whole life. This trailer has never seen a garage, you know, so.
as it shouldn't.
That's right. That's right. So we've got a little resto, we've got some protect, and we've got some maintain.
Yep.
RPM, my friends. Okay, my friends, let's do a walkthrough here. We're here to pick up the Airstream after Matt's awesome RPM ceramic coating. Of course, they always do the tire dressing, which is a nice little touch. So now here's something interesting. It was really, really rainy here. So they applied the ceramic coat a couple of days ago and they wanted it to cure. So they got it to cure before we had any rain. So this is what it looks like after rain. I mean, it's just like a mirror. Yeah, in fact, you can see some of the dirt there that's accumulating on the belt line. So normal, beautiful job. Now let's take a look at how they did on the hatch. Now you all may have seen an episode. If you haven't, check it out on our channel, but this hatch was replaced and we can see that it was really, really, really in rough shape. I didn't treat it well when we removed it. I don't think it got treated well when it was welded. We were beating it up a little when we were putting it back. Just kind of, you know, the fugue moment there of while we were doing everything, but it's an absolutely gorgeous job. I'm stunned at how much better this looks. Just absolutely stunned. And of course, we've got the other side here. So this is what she looks like after she's been rained on after a brand new ceramic coat. And now let's take a look. The last thing was a hard ask, so we have a little bit of a scratch by the battery box, and we already talked about this, that will never look new, but Matt gave it a little bit of a work there, so kind of bring that down a little. So absolutely beautiful. We're ready for another year of adventure with our ceramic coat protecting us in all that terrible weather. Hey, all right, let's take a look at the PPF that we got put in the bedroom here. So this is paint protection film. You can already see it's almost a mirror. Like, my feeling is actually, wow, looking at this, this is better than when the Airstream was new, that finish. And just a reminder to our viewers, Matt uses a very good quality PPF. Not all PPFs are the same. In fact, cheap PPF can do worse damage than not having any. It can kind of be hard to remove and stick to the paint. This PPF is a very good quality, and it already has ceramic in it. So this should put up with, you know, all that silliness, rivets on jeans, zippers, just all the damage that it was taking. Look at that. It's so shiny. It's like one step removed from being an actual mirror. So yeah, I'm thrilled with this. This is wonderful to have this finally protected.